howdy, folks. It's VileMike here. And I finally watched Jurassic World Rebirth this week. And first of all, before everyone else chimes in, I'm going to say something that's very controversial, I think. I think that Jurassic World Rebirth is the second best Jurassic Park movie of all time. I really enjoyed it. I think it deserves a lot more praise than it's gotten recently, and I looked it up. It's only got like a 60% on IMDb and a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I think that, yeah, this is like one step below the original Jurassic Park for me. For the first time, I felt like this was an actual Jurassic Park film without rehashing a lot from the previous, without rehashing the entirety of the plot like the first Jurassic World did. And how you doing, Positive?
Alrighty.
So Elihu, I'm going to go to you first, since you were here first. Why didn't you like Jurassic World Rebirth? Because you said you didn't like it.
Yeah, the characters were bland. It was too pedantic. They're supposed to go after the largest dinosaur, but yet there's a huge Titanosaurus right in the middle of downtown they drive right by. Like, what the fuck? You got one right there.
No. I'm talking about Jurassic World Rebirth.
Yeah, the one with Scarlett Johansson. They had a huge dinosaur in the city they're driving by. They got stuck in traffic. They're supposed to get a huge dinosaur, the largest, and there's one fucking right there. That's number one. Number two.
Hold on. In traffic? What are you talking about?
Remember when there was when Scarlett Johansson got in the car at the beginning of the movie? They were stuck in traffic. Yeah. Why? Because a huge fucking dinosaur was there. A Titanosaurus. One of the largest of the largest. Their whole goal was to get the largest of the largest of the largest. Land, sea, air. There's already a fucking land animal right there. Number one. That's number one flaw.
No. Hold on. One, that was a Brontosaurus.
Brontosaurus does not exist.
I said Brontosaurus or Apatosaurus because they still use both names interchangeably in certain literature. Two, that one was in captivity.
That one's on the street.
No, that was a zoo.
Yeah, it was still large of the largest.
It's one of the largest. It's not the largest. They specifically wanted Titanosaurus, not Apatosaurus.
Number two. That family was not needed whatsoever in that movie. There was no point in having that family whatsoever. They could, you could just skip the whole entire family sequence and boom, you got a movie. If they ignored that family sequence, yeah, it would have been an enjoyable movie, but there was too much fucking B and C plot lines in this thing. The whole point was to go to the island, to get some danger, get people killed off, of course.
I'll tell you what. Hold on, Elias. I'll tell you why the family was needed for the plot. Same reason why the kids were needed in the original Jurassic Park.
The kids were part of the tour. That was part of the tour itself. The kids were a totally separate incident from gathering dinosaur DNA. They were totally separate from the whole entire incident. They just happened to be there.
And the family was not supposed to be there. They were accidentally brought into the fold because of what happened on the boats. That's why they were there.
The family did not even need to be in the movie, period.
No, you need something for the children. You need a child avatar, a child POV character. Every Jurassic Park movie, or nearly every Jurassic Park movie, has had one. I mean, as far as I can tell, let's see. Jurassic Park had
like I said, same trope.
My grandkids. Jurassic Park 2 had Malcolm's daughter. Jurassic Park 3 had the kid who was trapped on the island. Jurassic World had the nieces and the two nephews. Jurassic Park 5 and 6 had the clone girl. So yeah, every Jurassic Park film has had a child avatar POV character because the franchise also appeals to children.
Okay, let me pitch the next Jurassic Park movie. You have to get dinosaur DNA or something, kids involved. Oh, wait a minute. That's every single fucking Jurassic Park movie. Same trope. You got DNA involved there. You got kids involved in danger. Every single Jurassic Park movie has that, except for San Diego one.
No, the only time they specifically tried to get DNA, or in this case, this is the
I
first
didn't say
movie. Never even
I
tried
said
to
it
get
involves
embryos.
DNA. I said involves dinosaur DNA.
Yeah.
Yeah, every single one involves a dinosaur DNA plot line.
No,
Every
it
single
does
one
not.
involves a kid.
No,
Yes,
it
it
does
does.
not.
The first one, developing dinosaur DNA. The second one, San Diego. Third one, dinosaur DNA got manipulated. The fourth one, you got dinosaur DNA got manipulated into insect DNA, which is still the same thing. What the fuck? You got DNA manipulation, DNA shit, and kids
Yes, but
involved getting dangerous. It's the same fucking trope.
No, it's not the same thing. This time, they're specifically going after certain DNA because they want to create heart medication.
Yeah, I know that. Same thing. DNA
no,
sequencing.
It's not the same thing. Jurassic Park 1 was the issues with biotechnology and cloning creatures that hadn't existed and not understanding enough about those creatures before you try to make a theme park attraction about them.
It was kind of. It was also kind of dumb that in the huge grass field, the leg was 6.5 feet wide, but yet they were laying down. You couldn't see him. What the fuck?
They were on a hill. They didn't see beyond the hill. It was maybe poorly shot, but it still makes sense in context. Because the grass was blocking their view. I get that.
Still did not like it.
I mean, the overall theme of the Jurassic Park films, and from Michael Crichton's original books, is the hubris of humanity. Moving too fast without ethical considerations when it comes to technology. And in this case, it was cloning and
Kids in danger.
But yeah, it's always
trope. Kids in danger. Yeah, same trope, man.
But again, all the films have that aspect because Jurassic Park. Remember when you were a kid? Who did you identify most with it when you watched the first Jurassic Park movie? I don't know about you, but I identified with the kid characters.
I identify with Alan.
Now I do.
No, I did when I was a kid.
Back then, I was the kid.
No, I was Alan back then. I identified as Alan as a kid.
Well, I identified as the kid because again, he was a dinosaur nerd just like I was. I mean, hell, he literally brings up Bakker, who was a paleontologist that I respected when I was his age. So yeah, I really I nerded out on that comment because I'm like, I have that book too. So yeah, I identified as the kid. Jurassic Park is about kids getting to be mesmerized by dinosaurs. That's part of it. Yes, I know. But at the time, before I knew a lot more about genetics, it seemed in the realm of possibilities.
Genetics?
I got pop off the chat. Oops. Like, what the hell's going on here?
So,
Jurassic shit, yeah.
So the fact that they had the kid characters didn't bug me at all. The only thing that possibly bugged me was Scarlett Johansson changing her mind so quickly about releasing the DNA to the public instead of for one company, meaning she's going to lose her paycheck. And based on the person we saw in the original, in the very beginning of the movie, I don't think she would have done that because her mind was entirely changed once she was told how much money she was going to get.
She is an A-lister. If they didn't get her, that movie would have bombed. You know that.
No, I'm talking about the character, not the actress.
That's what I'm still talking about, the actress. It would have bombed if she wasn't in the movie because they were probably hoping on the A-lister. Look at Superman. If Superman did not have Marlon Brando, you think it would have got the credit it did in theaters at the time? No, they had a big name star attached to it. Scarlett is a big A-list actor right now attached to it.
Okay,
I say if they didn't have her, it would have bombed.
I don't care about that. I'm talking about the characters. I don't care.
Okay.
I'm saying her motivation changing that much, I don't see happening, especially when her friend actually survived. Not after. If he had died, I'd be like, oh yeah, now she's gonna say fuck those guys. But the fact that he survived, I'm more like, it's less believable. I also think that one of the things I think they should have gone more into. Now, I did not watch Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. Apparently, in that series, they explore more about that D-Rex goober-looking dinosaur thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where it was introduced. That's where the island was originally introduced. And without watching that, because I didn't watch it, it kind of just appears out of nowhere. I know that they said, right before it shows up, oh, this is a DNA lab. And I'm just like, that's all you're really going to do to explain it?
Fossilized dinosaur poop is a cool find. I've seen it before.
Yeah, what is it called? Stromatolite or
I forgot the correct actual term, but
coprolite, I think. Coprolite? Shoot.
I forgot the term.
Hold on. I think it's coprolite, but I'm going to check.
Ow. Well, you go to the Google Mobile.
Yeah, okay. It's a coprolite.
Okay.
It comes from the Greek words dung and stone.
Everybody must get stoned.
So,
da, da, da.
But yeah, altogether, I did like the film. It seemed to me, especially if you're a fan of Michael Crichton's book, The Lost World, not the movie, The Lost World. It followed very similar themes to the book. Not necessarily the execution of it, obviously, because in the book, one of the funnier aspects of it, if you ever read the book, the villains and the heroes never meet each other and don't even know each other exists on the island. Shit cases, period.
That's funny.
But yeah, in the original book, Malcolm's team goes in to rescue one of their compatriots, a guy named Levine. And they never actually run into Dodson's group. Dodson's group gets eaten by T-Rexes and Velociraptors without ever running into them at all. And it's kind of funny when you think about it, that you got this A and B plot. Here, sorry, I got to do the hand motions. You got your A plot and your B plot. A is the hero's plot, B is the villain's plot, and they never cross over whatsoever. The closest they get is the heroes come across the remains of the villains after they've been killed. They're like, oh, let's take their little black box that repels dinosaurs.
It's been years since I actually read the book, man.
Oh, it's one of those books I reread like every couple of years because I like Michael Crichton's one of my favorite authors of all time.
You know how to read? Wow.
Yeah, I'm reading at a first grade level at this point.
Oh, nice. Oh, hey, today's Anthony Raff's birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Commander Stannis. Stannis. Stanets, sorry. Stamets, whatever.
Yes. Get his character correct, right, man. Come on. By seeing the network commander, please.
If they had a can of Ray, they would be able to fend off dinosaurs. Do you mean Raid? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He said, "Oops, Raid."
Raid. Yeah, I'm reading right now. I finished up rereading Dune. Now I'm reading Dune Messiah. I'm getting towards probably closer towards the end because Muad'Dib's just been blinded, but he can still see.
Yeah, Dune is one of those books that I enjoyed it the first time I read it.
I enjoy it more every time I read it.
It is a hard read to get. I mean, in all honesty, if Dune had been released today, I don't think it would nearly have been as popular. I think the only reason it got as popular as it was is because it was when sci-fi was at its peak, and it did a tremendous amount of world building in a single novel. The problem is that novel makes The Stand look like a pamphlet.
No, I wouldn't say. You mean the unabridged Stand? No, the unabridged Stand's 1,100 pages. This one isn't.
Hang on, I want to mute you guys for a second. I want to hear something. Sorry, go ahead and talk. I'm not paying attention to you guys.
Let's see, how many pages is Dune Messiah?
Hold on. Let me.
Yeah, Dune Messiah is only 200. Oh, you mean Dune? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dune. Sorry, my bad. Let's see, Dune is 896 pages, so that is actually less than The Stand unabridged because that's over 1,100. I know because I read that in the summer. I read that in a week. I was tearing through that book like crazy.
Hold on. All right, yeah, you're actually right, and I'm wrong. The Dune is shorter than The Stand, but
not by much.
But for some reason, when I read Dune, it seemed like it took forever.
The reason why is all the detail he puts into it. I mean, he talks about the designs, everything, how things look. And actually, yes, that sometimes can be a little rough. However, it's the reason why the Dune movie was able to work so well because it looked like what came out of the book from his descriptions from the book. I mean, the Thropters looked like a Thropter.
Oh, don't get me wrong. As I said, he did a tremendous amount of world building.
Yeah, in a single book. And then, like I said, the one I'm reading now is only 250 pages, so I'm almost done with that one.
But let's take something slightly less, or something that's contemporary, but didn't do nearly as much world building per se. Let's take just Star Wars: A New Hope.
Okay.
If you watch Star Wars: A New Hope, they don't really do that much world building.
No. It was meant to be a single contained story at first.
Yeah, well, I mean, before he made that movie, yeah, George Lucas did a tremendous amount of world building through the scripts he originally wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But just that movie alone, there's very little world building. You got a little bit of Tatooine, and you got the Death Star, but they don't really go into terribly too much. I mean, the politics he doesn't even bring up until episode 1. Which was, decades later.
Yeah.
All you have is, that the Empire's bad, the Rebellion's good, living on a desert planet sucks.
Sand.
I mean, hell,
Why
even the
sand?
But let's put it this way: even the Force is not really explained in the first movie.
No.
You have it's something that binds people, but does he say? There's no okay.
He says the Force binds us, penetrates us, surrounds us. Without the Force, without And anyway, yeah, there is that part of it.
But when he says use the Force, it's not directly implied that he's using telekinesis to help aim the torpedoes.
No, what he's doing is he's actually using the Force. Remember, several Jedi or people find out they're Force sensitive just on reflexes. You know, when
But-
Qui-Gon had mentioned about Anakin's ability to see things before they happen, he said that's a Jedi trick.
Yeah, you said you must have Jedi reflexes. Yeah, but they don't go into that in that first movie.
No, they don't.
So everything's left ambiguous. There's a lot of questions. Dune doesn't really do that as much. Frank Herbert over-explains everything. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's really hard to get through that book.
Okay, so the first time I read it was a long time ago, and I said I found it boring as hell. Well, I got older. People were talking about Dune. I was in my 30s, early 30s at the time, and I was like, "Yeah, I just didn't like the book." They're like, "Wait a minute, Reed, you're into politics. You should love this book." So I reread it, and so I read it again, and I was like, okay, I understand this book a lot better now. But I mean, it is a feudal I mean, you got to remember, it is an empirical feudal system. The houses feud with each other all the time. The Harkonnens and the Harkonnens and the Kaladins have been the Harkonnens and the Atreides, you know.
Oh yeah, Dandelion. Yeah, I think Frank Herbert was, when he was writing Dune, I think he knew at that point it wasn't just going to be that first novel. He was planning on building a franchise with it. I don't know if he expected it to go as far as it did, because I remember when literally what got me into Dune was not the first movie, despite the fact that Patrick Stewart was in it. It was because I was and still am a fan of Kevin J. Anderson, and he was tapped to write the prequel book series with Frank Herbert's son and those his father's notes.
Yeah, I've read a lot of Kevin J. Anderson from Star Wars, and actually, I think that the series on HBO is based off of their trilogy of books, the Bene Gesserit. Because we're basically going back over 11,000 years before. I think it was 11,000 years before Paul Atreides Muad'Dib the Kwisatz Haderach is born. Yeah, he's got a lot of damn names. He's also the emperor now.
Sorry, I want to read this quote. Dune is unfilmable to adapt from novel to film or other visual medium. It has 4 appendices and a glossary of its own gibberish, and takes place on 2 planets, one of which is a desert overrun by worms the size of airport runways. Yep. Lots of important people die or try to kill each other, and they're all tangled about in 8 separate subplots.
That's actually about accurate. That is actually about accurate. Oh, you said you said you like Kevin J. Anderson books, Mike?
I'm a huge fan of his work, especially his
Star Wars and Star Trek stuff. Have you read Saga of the Seven Sons?
No, I have not.
Okay, read it. They're long, but they're short chapters, and basically, here's how I'll give you the short synopsis of it. It's set in the future. The world is run by a king, but not really. He's a figurehead. But originally, the people knew he was a figurehead. Now they've kind of forgotten that aspect. So the king is just a figurehead. There's the people behind there who actually do the real work. And, something happens on Jupiter, and it turns out there's some aliens in there, and they were not too happy.
All right, since Chris is here, and we didn't hear his opinion on it. Chris, did you watch the latest Jurassic Park film, Jurassic World Rebirth? Yeah, you're muted. Just letting you know if you're talking.
How about now? There you go.
Now I can hear you.
Yeah, I did, and I can't remember who it was. It was a comic though, or somebody that said it like right after the first or second one came out, and they said Steven Spielberg is a genius because he's come up with a film series that literally, no matter how many times you want to do it, you can do it. Doesn't rely on any characters that have to be there every movie, even though they seem to bring back characters. And the star of it is dinosaurs. I mean, this one didn't make $1 billion. Doesn't surprise me, truthfully. It's watered down. It's getting watered down. And again, when you bring back old characters to try to prop something up, really, they should just let it die for about 5 years, come back with a new one. It'll have all the luster again. And I don't know. It was okay. I mean, I like these movies. It's just some of the stuff in the past three have just gotten really convoluted when you add AI stuff to it, and the whole creature building or like construction thing in this one was really just weird. It's
Well,
cool. It's just go ahead.
When you said the box office, it did nearly make $1 billion. It made 887 million after after advertising.
Yes.
So if you add to it the amount they lost from advertising, they would have made over $1 billion. So it's not like it did not lose money by any stretch.
That's like saying that after I pay my bills, I made X amount of dollars. Still, I didn't, because I had to pay bills.
True, but
no, I'm not saying it was a failure in the box office. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that obviously this one took a hit because it was, again, after a while you can only. Marvel shows it when Marvel's done. Well, how many movies since they started back out, like 2021, 2022, when they started pushing them out?
I got my Google Mobile right here, so let me see.
Yeah, Marvel, since they reopened from the pandemic.
As of Fantastic Four First Steps, which we did talk about last week, 37 films
total. But
Not
I'm just talking about just since they started pushing them back out after 2020.
All right,
let's say 2020.
All right, 12.
Okay. And I think before that it was 15. It was like 15 or 24 movies in.
So in 15 years they did 25 movies. In 5 years they did 12.
Yeah. See, so they're easily going to beat that if they keep going. So that's what I'm talking about, is that they pushed it so close together, didn't really pay attention to full continuity between movies and stuff like that. When you keep pushing out Jurassic Parks every other year or so, people are going to get tired of it. So that hurt it. Again, it really doesn't matter what the plot is. It really doesn't matter what the humans are trying to do. No, we just want to see what they do with the dinosaurs. We want to see how they get loose, how they kill people. That's really all anybody cares about with Jurassic Park. And this one, it satisfactorily met those expectations.
Yeah. See, this is my controversial thing when I first started the stream. I think that this Jurassic Park movie is the second best one they've ever made for the Jurassic Park franchise as a whole. If you're including all 7 films, this one comes in at number 2 for me.
And how drunk are you to make that statement?
I've had 2 shots of whiskey. Well, less than 2 shots because I haven't finished my coffee.
What is your number 1?
Oh, Jurassic Park 1 by far. If you were to do a scaling list of the 7 Jurassic Park films, Jurassic Park 1 is a 10, right at the top. This is probably a solid 7. Jurassic Park or Jurassic Lost World only gets a solid 6 in my opinion because of the San Diego stuff, and I'm pro San Diego. But everything else is a 5 or below.
Come on. Lost World has to get bumped up to a 7 just for the rolling 76 ball.
Fine.
Okay, that was kind of funny. That was kind of funny, yeah.
All right. Okay, for that, Jurassic World Rebirth gets an 8 out of 10, and Jurassic Park Lost World gets a 7.6 for the 76 ball.
Yeah.
And
that
was
freaking hilarious.
It would have been better had it got like knocked down cars or something like a bowling ball.
And if you know anything about San Diego, near Qualcomm Stadium, or what used to be Qualcomm Stadium and is now Snapdragon Stadium,
Wait,
there
I thought it was
is
Petco
a
Park.
bunch of there's a bunch of gas tank or gasoline storage things, you know, big
Tanks.
white, you know what I mean?
Tanks.
And for the longest time, one of them had the big 76 logo on it that you could see from the freeway, because they were trying to show that, yeah, this is 76 gas.
Mm-hmm.
So at the time, 76 gas was real big here in San Diego.
It isn't anymore?
No, the whole facility got sold, and it's now part of a conglomerate that involves Shell,
yeah,
and a few other companies. I can't remember all of them. But at the time, like half of that facility was owned by 76. So, Elihu has said that he didn't like the film. Do you have anything good or bad to say about it specifically?
No, I watched it for the dinosaurs, and it was those expectations. I mean, that's why I watched it. It was fun to watch for that. If I go too far into the plot, like I said, it gets convoluted, the stuff they're doing now. It's like, I think the first few were much better because they didn't go into weird experimental stuff. And yes, I get it. It's all based off of genetics and experimental stuff whenever they first started. But then they got people who got a hold of the technology, decided to try. I mean, when they bring Dodson back, I think it's kind of funny and it's interesting when they bring Dodson back. And I mean, there's continuity errors. For instance, he has the Barbasol can on his shelf behind him. Well, that can was lost on the original island. So unless they showed a scene, maybe there's a deleted scene where they show him and find it. I don't know. But
it's not deleted in the TV shows. That's how they explain it. You have to watch the TV shows. And that's one of the things I didn't like about this particular film is that this new D-Rex thing. I coined it as the goober looking dinosaur.
Yeah.
That was real big in the TV show Camp Cretaceous, which I did not see. I didn't know. I went to look it up a little bit after watching the movie to figure out what the fuck that was. And they're like, oh, it's a hybrid dinosaur similar to the Indominus that was deemed a failure. And it was in the show. So
I'll look it up. But what's funny is Justin Proper, General Zod, and Pop Culture PB, we all did a ranking of Steven Spielberg movies, and they thought I'd lost my mind because I put Jurassic Park in I don't know, it wasn't F tier, but it was like a D tier. They're like, why? And I said, because if you can't make this movie successful, what the fuck's wrong with you? I mean, it's not like it took anything to do it. It was easy. The best thing about it is all of the graphics and like the things. I mean, Jurassic Park is where we got the current CGI models. Terminator 2 helped push it, and The Abyss helped push Terminator 2. And
don't forget, what was that movie? The one with the stained glass knight.
Well, that was the first actual computer generated character that moved.
But I can't remember the film though. What was the film?
It's young Sherlock Holmes.
Thank you.
And it was done by technically what is Pixar, because
Yeah.
it was Industrial Light and Magic with Pixar, but that was his computer graphics side of it, George Lucas's, and he sold it soon after that or something, to Disney. And but
It became Pixar later on. Yeah.
what I mean is that what we know of CGI now really just went balls to the walls in Jurassic Park. But the difference is nobody learned from Jurassic Park, which is you can still do practicals with it. So that was what really sold it. They were able to do practical models of some of the dinosaurs. And by doing that, it helped the CGI, and the CGI helped practical models. Anymore these days, people are like, screw it, don't care. And it's like, okay, you know, I think that's what's been lost. And unfortunately, when you go back in time, 30, 40, 50 years again, whatever CGI will be, they will go back to Jurassic Park and say, this is where it started.
Hey,
yes?
So there was a show I was watching called Evil, and I was really into it, and especially the demons that were in it. And I thought, man, these look so good. And I found out as I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, these look like practical effects. And it turned out they were all practical. They were almost 95% practical effects. They only did some CGI for like one area where a guy had flame coming out of his head, but other than that, and I mean, the costumes were just freaking great because you're looking at practical effect costumes. You're not looking at CGI. And I mean, you can tell CGI from practical effects. It's just a given.
Well, to compare it to Jurassic Park, how many of you guys have seen the Carnosaurus films?
The what?
The what?
The Carnosaurus.
This must be a B movie thing.
It is a Roger Corman film, Carnosaur.
I have no clue.
It's actually, believe it or not, the books Carnosaur is based on is actually predates Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. But in order to leech off from the success of Jurassic Park, Roger Corman got the rights to this, and he created his own film series called the Carnosaur series. But because he didn't really have the budget for the CGI stuff, it's all done practically, and it all sucks. But it's still a fun. If you have an opportunity, watch the films. They are fun as all hell. If you enjoy bad B movies, which I do personally. And I would actually say go back and read the book Carnosaurus because its themes are very similar to Jurassic Park, except in this case, it's the military who is trying to create dinosaurs for basically the same reasons that what's his name wanted the dinosaurs for the military in Jurassic World. So, but you're absolutely right, Chris, when it comes to films like that need to have the CGI with the practical effects. And I'm going to give Lost World credit because they still used the practical effects when they could. And I don't think it was until Jurassic Park 3 that they were like, no, we'll just do full CGI. And you can, that's still that moment where the Spinosaurus breaks through the wall. And the fact that the way its feet is not touching the ground entirely, it bugs the fuck out of me.
I agree with something Chris said. Practical effects help the CGI for the first movie, and the CGI help with the practical effects.
Yeah, that's what as I was getting at. That's why I didn't like that. I mean, the Spinosaurus breaking through the fence should have been a great moment in the film, but I keep getting distracted by the fact that his feet slide on the ground, and that's because they didn't, take into consideration that the camera was not moving. The ground is not moving, but his feet are somehow moving when they shouldn't be. It bugs the fuck out of me every time I see it. You wouldn't have that problem if they used at least some practical effects on it.
I don't understand this. Practical effects, I would think, would be cheaper than spending all that money on fucking CGI.
Oh no! Hold on. Let me. I'm gonna look up Now, how much that T-Rex animatronic cost? Hold on.
Well, yeah, it was not cheap. You know, the line that Ian Malcolm says when Dr. Grant goes like, "How does that make you feel?" And Ian Malcolm comes over and says, "Extinct." That was actually Stan Winston's comment that he made when he first saw the CGI. It's like, he says, what do you think about this? And he says, "I think I'm extinct."
and they decided to use that line in
Yeah, exactly. That was
it was the stop motion guy that said that.
Yeah, it was Stan Winston, who is the guy that did all the practical.
Yes, but Stan Winston wasn't the guy that did the stop motion.
Yeah,
No, it
Harryhausen
was
is the founder guy. He's the father.
Yeah.
Harryhausen, don't forget him.
Well, Harryhausen wasn't in it. That's who inspired him.
Yeah, he's the grandfather of stop motion. I mean, he's the greatest. Sorry, that's my opinion about Harryhausen.
And
Right.
stop motion animation is becoming a lost art. Everybody wants it quick and easy.
All right. The T-Rex was about $2 million overall. Their budget was $63 million, so that T-Rex animatronic alone was about 3% their total budget.
Still
Hey,
worth it. Still
can you
worth
check
it.
can you check and see how much the life size at cost to make for the new Disney? I mean, for the new Star Wars,
The what?
the new at AT&T,
For what film?
the new Star Wars. I forgot what it was called. They build a the trailer came out as well. They built a life size AT-AT.
The Grogu and Mandalorian.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, thank you.
I thought there was only an ATST in that one.
No, there's an AT-AT. There's two AT-ATs that are walking along a cliff. One of them was built practically life size. I'm not sure how much that one cost, but they built a life size AT-AT. Or AT-AT, as millennials call it.
I still go with AT-AT.
Okay,
Yeah.
the cost for that specific prop has not been disclosed, but the total budget for the film is $166 million.
Shit.
And for comparison, that T-Rex animatronic at the time was $2 million. Adjusted for inflation, it was closer to 12. And just for a comparison, the Baby Yoda puppet and prop that they used in the original Mandalorian TV show was $5 million adjusted for inflation.
Yeah.
As of today.
No wonder they only didn't let
I'll
anybody
tell you
touch
how
it.
you can look and see how much the AT-AT was. Look and see how much the two that are at Galaxy's Edge cost, and that'll give you an idea. Because they have life size ones at Galaxy's Edge.
Is it walking?
I said
Because this was supposed to move.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. If it moves, it's being held up by something else. But I'm saying that you can get an idea for how much it costs by looking.
Oh, okay. Basic rough estimate. Gotcha. Sorry, I'm loading a ball. That's why I asked Mike to check.
I haven't seen shit that's coming out that looks interesting.
Sorry, I want to elaborate a little bit. One of the reasons the Grogu puppet cost $5 million is not because they built one; they built 20.
Yeah, there you go.
That
In case one goes down.
So
I watched the behind the scenes. I watched the behind the scenes one where the speeder bike trooper he hits the bag, and actually the crew had to be like, "Hey, don't hit it so hard."
And Elihu, no, the full size AT-AT model built for the Mandalorian and Grogu does not actually walk.
Okay, that's why I asked
filmmakers Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni confirmed that the full-scale AT-AT was built by Industrial Light and Magic. Its immense size and weight make it impossible to move in a realistic bipedal fashion, which I don't know why it says bipedal. It's
Yeah, it's quad.
quadrupedal,
It's quad.
but for scenes showing the AT-AT walking or falling, filmmakers rely on traditional special effects techniques.
Okay, thank you. That's why I asked. Does it walk? Thank you.
Nope. Did
That
you
would have
find
been
out how
exciting to
much
see.
it cost, though, Mike? The ones at Galaxy's Edge?
No, it doesn't. I couldn't find it.
I watched the second Megan. Quite loved
My
it.
turn to look. Hang on.
Anybody see anything good coming out in the theaters? Because I ain't seen jack shit.
Yeah, of course. The first everything I can put into it
It
is just
says
bringing up the
Disney,
cost of the entirety of the park and the cost of
Disney
the
has
fucking
not
toys.
released the cost.
No, Disney has not released
Yeah.
the cost. I just looked this up. It publicly disclosed exact figures for constructing the Lifeline AT. The all-terrain armored transports. That's what they call it.
Yeah.
The estimates of 10 to 15 million per. The low end cost that people are assuming is 2 to 5. The high end is 10 to 15 million.
So yeah, if they're doing practical with CGI, I'm all for it. So
It took about 19 million to build the Millennium Falcon. I'm looking at that right now. I'm like, wow, okay, 19 million for the Falcon.
should have used Lego.
June Lockhart passed away, guys.
Yeah, I know. Yesterday.
100 years old.
Uh-huh. And Mary
What
Roth
is-
had her birthday.
What's 100 years old?
June Lockhart was 100 years old before she passed.
Oh, yeah,
Her
yeah.
birthday was June 25th, 1925.
Yeah, and yesterday was Marion Ross's birthday. Aaron
See,
Cunningham.
If you could do, like, with the AT-ATs and stuff like that, that's where I think Galaxy Edge got a lot of things wrong, besides incorporating a lot of the Disney stuff, but whatever. But you can't board the AT-ATs. If they had a way of like having it, like, you know, the platform in Return of the Jedi where they walk up and that's how they go into it. If they had it up to a platform, then went up on the platform, you could walk around and they could have several models of like the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter and stuff there that you could actually go up in and look.
Or battle simulation.
Well, something. But you see, if you had like an actual X-Wing and stuff, you could sell tickets and say it's an hour tour to go up, and you do it in small groups, but you sell it an insanely big amount. So like an hour tour to go and actually get into some of these would be like for 50 people at a time, and each cost would be like $250, something like that, because you would have to regulate how many people were up there, because you can't have 200,000 people a day or whatever, walking up there and trying to look into the ships. Nobody would have time to do it all. But if you did that, you could put that landing dock as a part of it, and then you go up in an elevator, and then you can walk around. You can board right into the AT-AT. I mean, I would have done that. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. It looks cool. It's just you can't do a lot there. It's like just has a couple rides and a bunch of shops, of course, because they want your money. But
Oh yeah.
Yeah. By the way, for anybody who doesn't know, June Lockhart was really famous for her role as Ruth Martin in Lassie.
Oh, she was also in Lost in Space.
yeah,
Yep, that too.
I would say her Lost in Space role was probably better known.
I
I
didn't
would
really care for Lost in Space. I preferred Lassie.
I think she's probably more well known for Lassie, but for nerds in this particular panel, I would say she's more known for
I don't know.
Lost in Space.
Wasn't she also? Didn't they bring back several of the original cast for the movie? I can't remember. She was in the movie, I think,
With Matt LeBlanc. Yeah. A cameo.
Yeah. Which
Let me check.
I think her and one other
Judy, the daughter. Right?
Yeah, and then wasn't the doctor in it also somewhere?
All right. In the 1998 Lost in Space film, she played the principal.
That's
Thank
it.
you. Yeah.
as a
And
cameo.
Yeah,
who
that's
else?
right. She was.
Who
the
else was in
where
it?
he was making fun of her and doing all that funny shit with her.
Who else of the original cast was in it?
That's
I'm
the
checking
one.
right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Mark Goddard played the general, and
Was Billy Mummy in it? He should have been.
well, yeah, I don't see him on the cast list, but I'm looking at Wikipedia. Let me check IMDb real quick.
You would think Billy Mummy would obviously be in it because he's not that old, you know.
Let me check.
Maybe not, but maybe not.
I know he was in the reboot.
Yeah, well, in Babylon 5, obviously, but yeah.
No, he was not. Dick Tufeld did do the voice of the robot, but no, Bill Mummy was not in the 1988 film.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, the only two cast members, or the only three cast members, were those three.
The last thing she did was in a series was the Lost in Space series, June, aka voice of Alpha Control.
Mm-hmm. No, but like the robot, if you want to watch a really interesting like mini documentary, I guess it was. I don't know exactly.
We lost Candor.
If you go, I think it's on YouTube. They found the original robot from Lost in Space and had to rebuild it for that movie. I think they used a different one for the whole movie.
No, his name's not Robbie.
No, sorry, that was a different movie.
He's just the robot.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you.
Now, the one from Lost in Space is just called The Robot. They don't give him a specific name. But yeah, I think we were talking about bad CGI. The CGI in Lost in Space, and don't get me wrong, the 1998 movie I enjoyed, but it was kind of like what you were talking about, Chris. They didn't rely on practical effects enough, just utilizing the CGI as one of the reasons I think the CGI in that film aged so poorly. I still like the movie.
I honestly just didn't like the movie.
Which one?
I liked it enough.
Oh,
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I'll admit, I don't think Heather Graham should have been cast. She was miscast. Same with Matt LeBlanc. I didn't really like his portrayal. I think they cast him just because of the Friends notoriety. He doesn't scream competent soldier, if you ask me.
No, but he didn't. Here's the thing. That was him trying to break into films like every other TV actor tries to do.
Yeah.
Some do it better than others. Bruce Willis, Tom Selleck, not Tom Selleck. Burt Reynolds. A lot. Kurt Russell did it.
Actually, quite a few did.
Yeah, but so it's not unheard of. That's what you do.
Heather something or another.
That's what you do. If you're an actor, you want to go from TV to movies because that's where the money's at.
Yeah,
but they he doesn't do a horrible job. I think that's more writing. I don't think that they wrote a bunch for him, so he I think does his part fine. It doesn't have a lot of depth to it.
My problem is
I think he tried to, sorry for interrupting you, NB, but I think he tried to inject too much of his friend's humor into his role.
And
that I would say is a fault of him as an actor, not necessarily the writing. And don't get me wrong, aspects of the writing was bad, but I still enjoyed the movie.
I did not like the 90s angst of everybody. I was just kind of like, okay, this is supposed to be a future movie. Why is everybody acting like a fucking
that's the product of the writers. That's time.
Yeah.
It's a product of the time. But that's also what I think happened with his part. I want to say that one of two things happened. I'll have to look and see. If they were just tunnel visioned on him as for that part, then it was written for him. And if it was written for him, what was he doing at the time? He was Joey. People thought if that's what it was, if he was the person they wanted, you then get into that thought process where they write it like Joey. So they'll inject those, the jokes and stuff. But I don't know. What was his character's name in that again?
God. I just remember him as being the soldier dude. Don West. And let's see. Trying to figure out the casting, trying to figure out what article to try to.
I'm looking at
check
it.
on.
IMDb. Just go to IMDb, dude.
While no other specific actors are mentioned as being up for the role of Don West, the part ultimately went to Matt LeBlanc. LeBlanc took over the role for original TV series actor Mark Goddard, who made a cameo appearance in the 1998 film. So, if it was like that, then by the fact that it doesn't come up with anything, I'm almost guaranteeing that it was made for him. If
Probably.
it was made for him, then they wrote it to inject what people knew him for. That's how movies do it.
He probably was given a a synopsis or a write-up for the film. Was like, oh, a popular franchise. For him, it was probably a great choice to go with a major, or at least not a major franchise, but a well-known franchise.
A familiar franchise.
Yeah. To break into movies, but let's face it, it didn't really work out for him. Whereas, Courtney Cox going into Scream solidified her as a movie actress. I don't know what Jennifer Aniston first did to get into movies, but she's still in a lot of films, and she doesn't necessarily play the same ditzy character that she did on Friends.
Now, the one from Scream, if you think about it, though, her career didn't really take off past Scream and Wild Things.
You're talking about Neve Campbell? I was talking about Courtney Cox.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, Courtney Cox. Yeah, I understand. Now, Neve Campbell, she pretty much was known for doing Wild Things and Scream and I think Party of Five, and that's pretty much all she's known for.
But we were talking about Friends, cast of Friends.
Yeah, we were talking about the cast of Friends.
I never saw Friends. I didn't like it.
I'm stoned, and I even remember that. Come on.
I didn't watch Friends. I had no interest in watching Friends. I watched a few episodes and I'm like, eh.
Let me guess, you preferred Seinfeld, right?
No, actually, I didn't watch either one.
Oh my gosh, what the fuck was wrong with you?
I was watching Roseanne.
Okay, I watched Roseanne, I watched Friends, and I watched Seinfeld.
I didn't care for either one of them.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, I liked Friends, but it's really funny. I stopped watching during the last season, and despite the fact that I've probably seen every other episode of the all the other seasons a dozen times, I still have not seen the last episode of Friends.
It's funny.
And
that is actually a plot point in Leave the World Behind, where she's trying to watch the last episode of Friends because she's like, I gotta know how it ends. I gotta know how it ends. Okay. Have you guys seen Leave the World Behind?
No, I haven't.
It's actually okay. I know it's a Barack Obama movie. Here's the thing. It's actually a very damn good movie.
What do you mean Barack Obama movie?
It's a damn good movie.
What do you mean Barack Obama movie?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean by Barack Obama movie.
It was a movie commissioned by President Obama. There was some deal they made with the president. So it's considered a Barack Obama type film or concept, but it's a great fucking movie.
Leave the World Behind?
Yeah, Leave the World Behind. It's on Netflix.
Well,
it's a damn good movie.
One of the funny parts about that is I did actually try to watch the last episode of Friends because at the 99-cent store back before it went out of business, they had the final episode of Friends on DVD for $1. So I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it.
2014, right?
Were you talking about the film that MB was talking about?
Yeah. What year did it
Oh,
come out?
I have no idea.
What? Leave the World Behind?
Yeah.
It came out a few years ago.
2023.
Yeah.
Okay, Julia Roberts, Marshala
Yeah.
Ali.
Yes,
Okay.
they were great. No, there's a really great scene between them because there's a very uncomfortable thing going on. But he's
Got
like,
it.
we only booked this through online. We never actually got on the phone and talked to each other. You never heard my voice. I never heard your voice. And it was kind of an interesting point they were making. It's like, yeah, we didn't do any of that.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now, MB, because I looked it up. Barack and Michelle Obama started a film company called Higher Ground Productions, and they were one of the producing companies for that film.
Yeah.
So that's
like
okay. I didn't know what you meant before.
It's like I said, some people say they wouldn't watch it because it's a Obama movie. I'm like, my wife and I gave it a shot and we really enjoyed it. It's actually a great fucking movie.
I can't fucking stand James Woods, but I'll watch anything he's in because he's one fucking hell of a thespian.
But to go back to my story, the funny aspect about it is I bought the DVD. I opened it up. The DVD did not work when I put it in my DVD player. So I'm like, fuck. It was only $1. Screw it. I'll go back to the store and I'll just buy another one. By the time I went back, they were sold out.
Oh, man.
So to this day, I still have not seen the last episode of Friends. And I'm just like, at this point, I don't care.
Do you want me to send you the episode, dude? I have access to download the episodes.
And what's even funnier is the one I bought at the 99-cent store was actually 2 DVDs. One was the actual episode. Sorry, it actually had like the last 3 episodes on it, but none of them played. I mean, when I put it in the thing, it just said unable to read disc.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably a different region. What do you want to bet it was a different region?
Well, I will say it's not, because the second disc did work, and that was a documentary like 5 years later where they were interviewing the cast and the crew about working on the series, especially the finale, and that one played just fine. But I didn't watch that because I didn't want to watch it before watching the finale.
Dude, I have never seen the last season of Big Bang Theory, okay?
Me neither.
I never watched Big Bang Theory. I've seen some of it. I've watched, I'm about 2.5 episodes into Young Sheldon.
No, I'm not going to watch that until I finish Big Bang.
So
yeah.
I'm going to eventually finish that up, but I haven't got around to it. I've actually been just going back to doing some reading because there's not much on TV right now that interests me. What I've been doing is, like, when I've been cleaning stuff, is I'll just turn on, I'll go to HBO and I'll just turn on the Batman animated series.
Yeah, that's definitely a series I can go back to again and again, is the original Batman, the animated series.
Yeah, I have
FXX has
Batman Beyond, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. I have them all.
Well, yesterday I was so bored. I was watching FXX. They had the every single Halloween Simpsons special. I'm like, cool, Sun and Earth on, yay!
All right, since we're now at a new hour, let me go to something else that I wanted to talk about because it kind of pissed me off. How many people here are fans of the Fallout franchise in general?
I like the series.
I like the series, not the franchise. I've never really got into the franchise, but I do like the show.
I never got into the franchise like you did, but I do enjoy the series, and I'm looking forward to the second.
All right,
but
so
again, I'm doing it mainly because there's Walter Goggin eats up any scene he's in any movie.
Well, this is what I wanted to bring up because Fallout 4 has been out for 15 years now. That was the last Fallout game released. This year was Fallout Day. This was the Fallout Day is in is when Bethesda usually talks about Fallout games for the last 20 years or so. And it's basically in universe, it's the day the world ended. It's when all the bombs went off. Because it happened just before Halloween. So yeah, that's the one, that's why it's called Fallout Day.
Anybody know how many episodes are going to be in the Fallout season 2?
Probably 8 to 10, maybe 11. I don't know for sure. But here's what pissed me off. They didn't. They announced that they're going to re-release Fallout New Vegas for one. They're going to do an anniversary edition for Fallout 4. They're even updating Fallout Shelter, the mobile game. They released information on season 2 of Fallout the series, which I ignored because I don't like spoilers. When it came to Fallout 5, a game that has apparently been in development for 15 years, they still haven't released a goddamn thing other than saying, we want Elder Scrolls 6 to come out first. It's been 15 fucking years. You're still updating a mobile game that is over 10 years old. But you're not doing anything for the mainline series. Just get it over with. Put out something. I like the Fallout games. I'm not going to pay for 76 because I don't want to do an MMO for Fallout. I just want a game I can play on my own. So yeah, I was upset by the Fallout Day Bethesda stuff. Because all they're doing is, rehashing the old games. Don't get me wrong, I love Fallout New Vegas. I don't need to buy it again. I already own it on 3 different platforms.
All right, I've already beat all the daily quests for today.
So
okay, I just looked it up. Fallout Season 2 is 8 episodes. The first one airs December 17th. Second one the 24th, 31st, every week afterwards. Last one is February 4th. There's also a special on July 9th, the making of Season 1.
Oh, nice.
There you go. I just looked for you, Mike.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're doing the Season 2, and I like they're not waiting 4 years to make Season 2. But my God, let's get some progress on Fallout 5. It's been 15 years.
I know one thing that shows Strange Things. I know it's supposed to have its final season. I'm like, I would have to watch every season over again to even have a clue what the hell is going on. And I'm just not in the mood. So unless they're going to do one hell of a recap to catch everybody up, I'm not even going to bother.
They're going to do a recap at the end of Season 2.
All right, Chris, are you there? Do you watch Fallout or play the games at all? Or is maybe he stepped away? Or he muted himself and forgot.
Or tap his mic again.
But I just want to make sure I'm trying to include him in the conversation. But yeah, I was upset about it because I'm just tired of the waiting. So many companies are just doing nothing with their franchises, and it's kind of irking me. You know what I mean?
Well, you want to hear something I liked about the show Evil? When you start out, you have a guy joining the Catholic priest, a agnostic Catholic, or a lapsed Catholic agnostic, and a former Muslim atheist. And what I actually liked about the end of the show, they're still the same people. They didn't all just convert. I actually like that aspect of it.
What show is this?
Now it's called Evil.
I don't think I've heard anything about this.
You remember the guy who played Luke Cage?
In which film?
Luke Cage in the series on Netflix.
Oh, Luke Cage. For some reason, I was thinking of Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat.
No, Luke Cage. The guy who played Luke Cage, he's the guy who becomes a priest.
Of course, the first thing that comes up when I type in evil is Evil Dead.
Of course.
Four seasons, American, premiered on CBS, so it's on Paramount Plus.
Hang on. Evil TV show, EVIL. Okay, let's see. 2019. It's Katie Hibbers, Mike Coulter, Asaf Mandavi, skeptical forensic psychologist, joins priest in training and technology expert as they investigate supposed miracles, demonic possessions, and other extraordinary occurrences to assess for scientific explanation or something truly supernatural is at work. That show,
So
right?
basically, it's X-Files, Catholic Church.
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
Hey, Mike,
okay.
you laugh, but I said the same thing. I said it's basically X-Files with the Catholic Church. But
fine, I'll look at that.
But what like I said, I like the fact that the characters stayed true to who they were. One of the main characters, oh my God, I feel bad for her, man. She gets so fucked over. So many ways.
And Michael Emerson's in it too, so we got your connection to Fallout right there.
Yeah, one of the things I really did like is when you realize every demon you're seeing. Oh man, the scariest one they did was the jinn, because he was seeing a jinn because he's from the Islam faith. There's a funny episode where there's a woman being possessed by what they believe is a jinn. So you got a Catholic priest and you've got an Islam sheikh. And of course, they're both arguing with each other about who's to perform the exorcism. And it's like, hey, why don't you both just try and do it? So you got that scene. So you literally have a scene of a sheik and a priest doing an exorcism. And the tech guy looks over Ben. He's like, we got a sheik and a priest doing an exorcism. Who says God doesn't have a sense of humor? And I'm like, the reason why I found that so fucking funny is I say that all the time. I'm like, God, I have a sense of humor.
Whenever I think about exorcisms now, one of the things that, like, the comedic value of an exorcism, I know Yvette's not here, but we, the show Supernatural.
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
My Jeep's named Baby.
In a bunch of episodes, they do the little incantation to expel a demon from somebody.
Yeah.
And one of the funniest episodes, or at least one of the funniest parts of an episode, was they're trying to like question a demon, and the demon tries to escape the person they're possessing. So one of the characters says the demon possession expelling spell backwards, and it causes the demon to go back into the person.
He froze.
And they're like, how did you know that was going to work?
I didn't. Repeat. Stop. Stop. Wait, you stop. You roboted and froze you. I did not hear what you said.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize I roboted.
No,
yeah, I was trying to stop you. I was like, whoa, stop, man. What are you saying?
Elihu, he did not robot on this end.
Well, it was.
He did on my end. He froze and roboted it.
Okay. But one of the characters says the incantation to expel the demon backwards, and it causes the demon to go back into the person they were possessing. And they're like, how'd you know that was going to work? I didn't.
Now, what I always liked is no matter how much smack talk Dean would do, one person that scared the shit out of him was Death.
Oh, yeah. Even though they ended up killing him. They killed Death.
But still, he was terrified of that guy.
So, I
like that scene where he's talking with Dean, and he's like, we don't know which one of us came first, God or me. We can't remember.
You guys seen Splinter Cell?
Yes, I did watch it.
I'm watching the first 5 minutes. I'm like, am I playing a video game or am I watching a cartoon? That was my first thought. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I binged it. I binged the entire thing because I was enjoying it.
I just watched the first episode last night. I'm watching. I'm like, holy shit, where's my controller? What the hell's going on?
I know. It feels like a Splinter Cell game. See, that's what
I loved it.
What I loved about Splinter Cell games was all the stealth part.
Yes.
That was the best part about it. It wasn't just go direct up and battle. You had to do strategy. I mean, at one point, I'm up on top of this thing. I'm trying to knock this guy out, and I'm like, I keep getting the angle wrong.
All right, hold on. Okay, never mind. I was confused because I said, you're talking about Splinter Cell Death Watch, correct?
I think
The new cartoon. I think that's what it's called.
So,
but the anime series, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, the new one that just came out.
Yeah,
Right,
the fucking animation is just so great. Like Eli said, I thought like, where's my controller?
I did not know anything about this. It's the first time I'm actually hearing about it. I didn't realize, because when I see the date 2020, I'm like, it's that old? I was like, no, apparently it was only released this year.
Yeah.
But I'm going to watch it because I've played a lot of the Splinter Cell games back in the day, PS1 era.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I have one for sale on the eBay store. But the one I want to watch, based on a video game, season 2 of Twisted Metal. Did anyone watch season 1?
Anthony Mack?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched season 1. I haven't seen season 2.
I haven't seen season 2 yet. Season 1 was fucking awesome.
Yes,
That's
perfect.
I liked so much that it didn't just go straight into the gameplay aspects. They built it up over the first season. And God, Anthony Mack does a great job. I don't care that his character is unoriginal to the game. What's his name? The clown. I can't remember his name.
The psycho guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their choice to take him in that direction was fucking genius.
You're talking about
Sweet Tooth.
What is
Sweet
it?
Tooth.
Metal?
Thank you.
Twisted Metal. Sweet Tooth. They took his character completely different from his portrayals in any of the games. And I don't care that it's not related to the games, even though I love Twisted Metal 1, 2, 3, Black, and even the kids one. There was a great game series, fun to play, especially when you got 4 people and 4 PlayStations, or at the time we did local area network ways to play it.
I remember those
Lands,
days.
yeah.
So I love that series. I don't care that the character is so different from his portrayal in the show, in the series, or in the games. I loved him in that series, in the TV show. He's funny, he's psychopathic, and I love him.
Now, one of the things I was glad about when they did the Splinter Cell was they did an animation, because honestly, I don't really think that's a show you can do live action without fucking.
I'll be right back.
I mean, Eli, seriously, I mean, the whole point is not to get caught, and I just don't think people really want to see that kind of movie. I would.
Splinter Cell movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did good with the cartoon.
Yeah, they did great with the cartoon. The animation was great. It felt like the game.
Sorry, I was reading something.
Nah, you're fine. Is Chris back?
Or is he front?
So I thought it was funny. Okay, so Mike, Alien Earth, right? I just wanted to say this quick. We went from Tickle Me Xenomorph to My Pet Xenomorph to the kids saying they're going to run the place. Yeah, you know what? I read that book. It was called Lord of the Flies. Didn't work out so well for the kids.
Yeah. I think they're trying to go with more of the Peter Pan analogy. And if you've ever read the Peter Pan book, Peter Pan's kind of the villain of the story.
Yeah, I know. I haven't read it, but I've read a lot of grim fairy tales, and no, they are not Disney versions.
No, yeah, Pan was the kidnapper. Hook was the liberator.
So, yeah, unlike a lot of people, I liked Alien Earth, though. I liked the aspect. I don't care that the alien is listening to the girl, or, the little robot. Pardon me. Little robot girl. To me, it's a new dynamic that we haven't explored in the Alien films. A not necessarily domesticated, but a single case tamed version of some of the aliens. I want to see where that goes.
I personally don't.
Well, I do, only because it's something that hasn't been explored before. And yeah, sorry, the reason I wanted to get my pad and paper out because as I said, I didn't know about the Splinter Cell, so I'm going to try to watch that this week. Are they doing? Was it released all at once, or is it a weekly thing? Because I hope it's a weekly thing.
It's all at once.
It's all at once.
Damn it! I hate the wait. That must be Netflix then, right?
Yeah, it's Netflix.
It's Netflix.
All right. Twisted Metal. And I still got to finish Dexter. I didn't watch it at all this week just because of the way my work schedule was. I got a rough week schedule this week too, but we'll see if I can get stuff watched.
Where are you at on Dexter Resurrection right now?
Yeah, the problem with trying to watch Dexter Resurrection is a lot of the stuff I watch is while I'm working, and I didn't think that was appropriate to watch while I'm working.
You think so?
Yeah.
So I guess I'm in the minority here with Alien Earth because apparently it's got a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes. So hey, I'm allowed to be in the minority.
Personally, I liked it. Anytime.
I've had shows I liked. My wife and I, there was a show called New Amsterdam. There was only 7 episodes, and we freaking loved it. And they didn't extend it any longer, and we were pissed. That's one. That's the one that we still say stings.
What stings?
There was a show called New Amsterdam a long time ago. It was, and anyway, it only lasted 7 episodes, and my wife and I really enjoyed it, and we were just really pissed about that.
Well, I was just hopeful that it wasn't, something like military related because, you used to make a shot for that.
All right, so we were talking a little bit about Alien Earth, Chris.
Yes.
Remind me again why you didn't like it.
If they do a season 2, I might change my mind. Just depends.
All right.
There's a few things about it. One, I don't like Wendy's connection to the xenomorph.
Can I ask why?
Well, wait. I'll get there.
Okay.
I understand that Ripley in Resurrection had that. There was a very fundamental reason why. They were all her clones, and they kind of built that into the plot line, but she didn't control them. It seems like Wendy not only has a connection, but she controls them. And I had a few theories on how they could write that in. I wasn't against it, but they didn't give us any reason. There's no reason how or why she can. And I don't like the idea that it feels to me like they're trying to sell the xenomorph as, the xenomorph wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for Wendy. The xenomorph is it. Well, I don't know. I have no clue.
He's embodying Katy Perry, cherry red lipstick.
No,
Come on,
it could be saturation on my camera or something like that. I mean,
cherry red lipstick, Katy Perry style.
Yeah, I can go down some, but it just
Because remember, you kissed a girl and you liked
I
it.
just don't understand this one thing, Chris. Just because she suddenly has been able to figure out the sounds and maybe even figure out some of the language, why would that even mean that she would be able to control it? That makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying. It's like there's no built-in thing. Okay, so when we first started watching, we know she came. I think she was a child at the very beginning that's looking at the scorpion in the dome. Okay, well that specifically, I think that scorpion came from the ship, because they talk about right at that moment they're talking about the ship's wreckage and that they're studying things in there.
No, the scorpion scene was before she got put into a robot body.
Yes. No, what I'm saying is I think that, okay, so the ship at the very beginning of the series, where the xenomorph attacked everybody and killed everybody, that crashes on Earth. Yes. They went. So I can't remember what was the name of the lab where Wendy was put into the body.
Neverland.
Yeah, Neverland. Okay, so Neverland discovers the wreckage, and they've been recovering things from it and studying things. So go ahead.
No, I hate to burst that bubble because she was put into the robot body long before the crash.
No, he even says I can go back and play it, but you can't see it. I can play the thing. So we went back and did this during the series. He says that he talks about the wreckage and says we've been recovering items from the wreckage, and he's talking to the little girl there. I think that's supposed to be Wendy.
Yeah, it is.
And he's talking about that wreckage. And then he says, the woman comes to get her to do the operation or whatever, the transference of consciousness. My thought process was, because she has a little IV thing and all that, is that they found the xenomorph and they're testing it on children who are terminal. And then because they know that the children are going to die anyways, they transfer the consciousness once they're done with their testing. And so then I was saying, if that's what they show and when that's what they do, then it would make sense that because, like Ripley, who was infected and then used for cloning, that she would have some residual connection to the xenomorphs. If they had written that in like that, I think it would have made a much better series. The other thing is because they make it so she's the one controlling the xenomorph, it almost makes it like the xenomorph, it almost implies that the xenomorph wouldn't be doing any of this if it wasn't for her. Therefore, the xenomorph is not a predatory person. It just, and the thing is throughout this whole series, or throughout the whole series of movies and stuff, the alien is predatory. The alien, that's what it does. That's how it's built. It's like any other animal in this world. A snake doesn't necessarily bite you to infect you with venom because it has a choice. It does it because it's protecting itself, and it doesn't do it unless it has to. Spiders are like that, and so I think what we lost was the predatory and basic nature of what the xenomorph was in this film. Not only, or in this movie, or in this series. Not only that, but then they go and I'm not going to argue that eyeball is freaking weird and awesome and nutso. I loved it, but wait a minute. This is alien Earth, not new hybrid weird eyeball alien Earth. So they totally disregarded the main alien, which is the xenomorph. They just kind of use it as a vague plot point when they want it.
All right.
I don't agree with that. And then the ending is, again, if I wanted to watch a new wave version of The Lost Boys or Peter Pan, this is what I want to watch. But why not call it that?
Oh, actually, I refer to it as when she says, "Now we're in charge." And I said, "Yeah, I've seen that book. It was called Lord of the Flies. Didn't work out for the boys too well."
Which is The Lord of the Flies is another retelling of basic motifs from Peter Pan. And in that regard, this series does a very good job of the motifs of Peter Pan and staying young and all that stuff. But that's not what Alien is. And the fact that the showrunner blatantly said we're gonna explore our own ways, we're gonna disregard Prometheus and Covenant and all of that stuff. He said that before the series. There's a reason why you don't disregard that, because just not but 6 months ago or so before this came out, you had Romulus, and Romulus follows that continuity.
Well, I want to stop you for a sec because I want to go into my theories, because I don't necessarily think that your theory about why the aliens are listening to her is right. We know from
it is. I said if they'd written it that way, it would have been better.
Here's my idea why the aliens are listening to her. I think through a quirk of her prototype body, she's able to hear the ultrasonic frequencies that the aliens converse on. Okay? That's why the other robots can't. They were more of closer to production models. Hers was a prototype. She's able to hear them. That's not why they listen to her, though. The first one that listens to her is the baby one. You know, the one that was birthed from her brother's lung. Okay?
Which, that doesn't make any sense either, but okay, whatever.
Well, it doesn't have to be the... I don't know. I have no issues with the lung being the catalyst. I think that it doesn't matter how much tissue they use. But
where's the continuity to show that this is what's been done before? Every other time they use the whole body.
Yeah, but just because every other time they had to, doesn't mean they have to do it every single time. I mean, to me, that's a non-issue.
That wasn't.
But we do know, hold on, but what we do know is the aliens incorporate the genetics of the host into their own genetics when they're being created. Now, this alien has the genetics of her brother.
Yeah.
We've shown that her brother, despite everything, sees this character as his sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the alien, on some level, is like, I'm related to this one person in one regard, and she's able to communicate with me. I think the alien is seeing her as a surrogate queen.
I don't think that even if that's the way it was, and I would accept that for an answer, but again, there's nothing given to us to tell us that. Vague connection with no context. If they had established that at some point in the Alien series or in this own series early on, or some 5-second dialogue of we believe that their consciousness, you know, that the consciousness of the host may transfer over to the xenomorph itself. If they had said something stupid like that, okay, great. Plot device, boom, we're there. We understand why it's happening. They didn't give us anything. That's the problem I have with it. Again, is it stupid that they use light speed to go through the Super Star Destroyer or whatever in The Last Jedi? Maybe. But it's a means to an end. It makes sense. The idea behind it, there's nothing ever in Star Wars that says it can't be done. It just never has been done. And therefore, okay, I'll accept it. It's how else were they going to get away at that moment? They weren't. That's the thing. So in order to make it happen, that's their answer. I accept that. I have an answer for it. Whether or not I like the answer or not, that's not what's important. The important is to give me an answer. This show does not give answers for 90% of its stuff, and then it thinks it needs a season 2. Why am I going to watch a season 2 when all I'm going to think is I'm not going to get my answers? They didn't give me any the last time.
Now, personally, I like it when they don't necessarily give everything to it on a golden platter or silver platter.
I don't need everything, and I'm fine with subjection, but
I agree with you.
So many threads.
I hope they explore it more in season 2. And I like it when they don't necessarily explain everything. Like, again, to go back to Fallout, we were talking about Fallout earlier. The Fallout series does not go into the entirety of the history of the NCR.
No, it doesn't. And I think all part of that, though, again, listen, hear me out on this. Part of that is that they're hoping that the history from playing the games, knowing that they want that to be the people they're going after. You can make up your own fill in the blank parts to that because you've played the games. Now, I understand it doesn't follow the games completely and utterly, but it does hold true to a lot of the games.
I mean, each of the games has multiple endings, so
yes, but it holds true to the ideas. It kind of holds true to the ideas. So therefore, they're like, we're going to let them play with their own theory in their head, but they already have the context to build that, so we don't need to go into that. It's kind of like we talked about. You don't need to show us that Bruce Wayne's parents get killed, and that's what made him Batman. You don't have to show that. If you start out a Batman movie and you don't show it at all, you don't mention his parents at all, does it make you think maybe his parents died a different way? No, you know how his parents died. If they don't address it, that's fine. But when you add something in with no context from nowhere else, none of the movies give it that context. None of the comic books have given it that. None of the cartoon stuff that they've done or the animation stuff that they've done have ever given us this idea. The closest thing you have to go with is Ripley's connection later on. And if that's what they're hoping that you attach to at this point in time in the timeline, because they are fully accepting that this is in the alien universe. At this point in time in the series of movies and all that hasn't been established yet. And we're still not even sure if it's because of that. We assume that, but that's another problem with Resurrection. They don't fully explain it either in that. It's just you have enough to build off of on that. This one you don't necessarily. Not to mention
in Alien Resurrection, the part of it is because the aliens from that ship were all not as clones of Ripley, but had their genetics intertwined with her.
Exactly, and that's why I'm saying that. But that's enough to know that because they tell you that up front. They're like, these all we've been working on, and this is Clone 98. This is this. This is that. They've established a sliver of this is probably what's going on. There isn't even that in this. Again, one line is all it takes at the beginning, or when they first on the ship at the very beginning. We think that maybe they did it on purpose to create conflict. Yeah, but the thing is give me some reason now, because here's my problem. Wait. Let me finish. My problem with that theory is if we're always going to wait till season 2 to give any answers, well, what happens when season 2 doesn't happen? Now I have one more piece of shit series I have to throw out and not even take into account. Give me something now to make me want to watch season 2. I don't want to watch season 2 right now. I don't want to wait for 8 more episodes to find out they're not going to tell me anything again.
But the thing is, that's how a lot of things are done nowadays, ever since Lost, primarily.
And Lost sucked.
Lost season 1 was great.
Never seen one episode of Lost.
But Lost season 1 was great.
I watched it and I was like, no. I mean, it has fun things, and it just, again, as I went along, that's the biggest problem of any series right now, is when you throw extra shit in it all the way through, and then you get to a point and you're like, wait a minute, are we going to answer anything? And more often than not, they don't answer anything. What they do is they forget about it and just act like it never happened.
If I had $1 for every one of those shows that ended without me knowing what happened.
Yes, exactly. And that's my problem, is because they think, we're going to get a season 2, or we'll wait because we'll bring this up. And yes, I get it. Stylistically and artistically speaking, the director has every right to do that. But at the same time, every showrunner, every director of a series should have the idea that if my series does not end or does not get a second season or a third season or a fourth season, whichever one you're on, every season should end with some sort of a wrap up to give me enough closure that if it never comes back, I'm okay, and I'd be like, okay, I get some of this.
All right.
Leave some stuff open.
I can't look it up right now, but Was Alien Earth guaranteed a second season before it was even put in production?
No, and I think it's still jury's out on it. Hold on, let me see. Alien Earth has not officially been renewed for a second season. However, all signs point to renewal being very likely. And he's actively looking for a continuation. But the thing is it was
so if there's a season 2, we'll see it in 3 years. Gotcha.
Well, and there's that. It's like, if I had to wait 3 years for it, then now I'm going to forget about what the hell. And I had to go back and watch it, which, yes, I understand for streaming services. That's exactly what they want you to do, because people who only buy streaming services for certain series, if you wait that long, then they have to buy a little early so they can go back and watch the old stuff. And now you have the
Stranger Things. Yeah, Stranger Things is a good example.
I get the political side of that, or the monetary side of that. I see that, but that's a problem for me too, is how they do that. But my biggest problem is there's no continuity that connects this to the original Alien series when they say it happens in the original Alien series. Remember, this happens before the first movie.
Yeah.
And nowhere. Now, this is going to take a minute to get there. A bit of a trip here. But nowhere in the series, or in the series of movies, had they ever mentioned the xenomorph being on Earth. And as I said, when this first started, is by the time this is all over, and if it gets to season 2, by the time that's over, or whenever this series ends, they have to account for why it was never told that this happened. And we have to account for why is it nobody knows why. And so the only answer I have for that is Weyland-Yutani.
Weyland gets killed off.
Well, Weyland-Yutani, yeah, and that's it. Everybody has to die. Everybody has to die in this series. There's nobody that can live, or they have to be shipped off into space. Something has to happen, or this is completely locked up. The xenomorph has to die or be shipped out. And I'm not saying that that's not what's going to happen, because it's the only thing that will help make this series make sense, because then Weyland-Yutani knows this thing exists and it has people out in space. So then they send the Nostromo out to search for this, because now they have a context.
It made sense. Well, it makes sense in retrospect for why Weyland-Yutani had that order sent for in the original film.
It can, but it's not there yet, because you have to show that in this series. And I
agree with you. I do think that they're going to have to explain why it happened, but I'm willing at this point to give them that leeway, because I'm enjoying the series.
Why not give me one scene where you have the 3 minds, the Neverland people? What was the other corporation?
Well, there's Neverland is Prodigy, Weyland-Yutani, and those are the 2 that they primarily talk about. The other 4 or the other 3, I don't remember. They briefly talk about them, but I didn't really pay attention to them.
We have to show here's what I'm doing. I'm creating questions. Think of this like a murder scene. We have the story here. We know what happens at the end. We know where it has to go. Now we have to create our questions on what has to happen to make this make sense. One, Weyland-Yutani is going to have to come out of this either absorbing or taking over everybody, or everybody being taken out, or I think Neverland will eventually go away. So that's one. Weyland-Yutani has to come out on top and be the corporation, because that's how it is in the Alien series. 2, we have to show why don't they put the consciousness of kids or people in the synth bodies anymore, because we know they have synth bodies, but we know they don't do that. So we have to show a context for why. Chances are psychosis, the problems that Wendy's having with the connection to the xenomorph, those types of things are answers to that, but they need to show that. Again, I have answers for how they can make this all work, but they need to show us that. So at the end of this season, they could have had a scene with the heads of all the companies talking about, well, we know this thing exists now, And then as they leave, talk about it really quick. And then as Weyland-Yutani's head of the corporation leaves, he pulls one of his people aside and says, how many ships do we have out right now? And end it there. Because then what it tells you is they're already thinking about sending ships out to look for more of these things. This explains things. It's continuity and brings it to Alien. Right now, I have nothing that connects us to the Alien universe except for a poorly used, remodified xenomorph.
Well, see, I don't have a problem with that. I realize the series is called Aliens, or the franchise is called Alien,
Then
but
why
I don't
even
have a problem
do
with
it?
them expanding upon it.
Expansion still relies on connection. I'm not saying I have a problem expanding. I want the connection. If not, you should have just called it Peter Pan Earth 2.0 or something, because that's what this series was. It's Peter Pan wrapped up into a little bubble with a little alien involved.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know
all I
why,
got
but
right
it
now.
doesn't seem to bug me that much, and I don't know why.
But it bugs me because I want the connection. If you're going to use the premise of why you're doing this is to further expand on a universe, the universe we already have. And don't get me wrong, the universe has enough issues within itself, small ones, but they're all little issues that bound up with questions, but they gloss over them enough. And you have another movie, Romulus, that connects with everything else too. It accepts that the prequel stuff that Ridley did exists. And then now you're going to have Badlands, the Predator movie, that's going to have Weyland-Yutani in it. They say there won't be an alien in it, but we already know that they're trying to fully bring in the alien or the Predator universe into Alien. We know they want to
Again, they already did that.
No. Because again,
AVP.
here's the thing. No. See, that doesn't technically happen in the Alien universe. It happens in the Predator universe. And the other way that you could explain that is, and the way that you can wrap it in eventually is that, like man, you could have another version of humans in outer space somewhere else that look very similar to us and do a lot of the same things we do, but DNA or genetically speaking doesn't match. So they could explain that the xenomorph that they had in Alien versus Predator is not the xenomorphs we've dealt with. And again, that takes a lot of building into. And if that's what they're trying to do, or if they're going to go that direction and bring in Alien to the Predator universe, I'm okay. We'll see how they do it. And this one too has said that this series has been implied that they might use it to do that also. Again, though, everything that's happening in this is not why I don't like it. I don't like it because right now I've watched the whole season and I have no belief that this belongs in the Alien universe. If it doesn't attach, what was it? The Star Wars Acolyte. You maybe introduced Darth Plagueis, which would have been an excellent way to go into it and stuff. They did all this stuff with the idea they were going to get a season 2, and then viewership complained about it. It was bombed. People hated it, all this stuff. And it went away. Now I have nowhere to go with it. So now it's another thing that every time I go to watch Star Wars stuff, I have to ignore it. I don't want to ignore stuff.
It's even funnier about that because I liked Star Wars Acolyte too.
I didn't hate it. I didn't think it was the best thing, but I didn't hate it, and I would have been fine with it continuing. But this, it's just, to me, this has to have some connection, and right now it doesn't. I've watched 8 episodes of it, and I'll be the first to tell you, if you want to talk about the look of it and the atmosphere of it, the lighting, the camera work, all of that fits right in with Ridley Scott.
Definitely.
The very first scene in the first episode, that ship, I felt like I was watching the 79 Alien movie. The people looked scruffy like that. The coloring, the yellowness of it because of the lighting, all of that. It looked just like that. And it pulled me right in. What pulled me out was at the end, I went like, well, what the fuck are we doing here? I mean, what are we doing? Why are we saying, "Oh, now we're in charge"? Well, what the hell does that mean? And you didn't even kill the person that was supposedly in charge. I mean, he put him in a fucking lockup, so something's gonna happen to him.
Well,
But
you can't kill off Peter Pan at the in the adaptation or the
True.
Alien adaptation.
True.
But yeah, this
but
personally,
just
I like the idea of exploring the idea of not necessarily domesticated but tamed aliens.
no, it's not what it is. It's not. It's not a pet. It's the aggressor.
I get that, but this is the first time we're seeing an alien not outright attack a humanoid.
I know. Hold on. I'll be right back.
And
Sorry.
all right, but I enjoyed that part. And now that Elias is gone, and
No,
are you
I'm
back,
here.
Elias?
Chris had to refill his small cup of coffee he was drinking out of, as you can see.
Yeah, I'm actually officially out of coffee now.
Oh, I still have my coffee.
All I got left is water. Yuck.
Yuck, man. Disgusting. It's tasteless. It's odorless. Why would you want
There's
to
no
drink
caffeine in this. No. Or alcohol.
Caffeine does not keep you awake. It's it's basically a beta blocker.
I know what caffeine is, dude.
A lot of people don't. Sorry. Yeah, I learned this in high school.
Actually, I was explaining what caffeine does. And fun fact, if you don't know about caffeine and nicotine for that matter, the reason that plants develop these chemicals is to kill bugs. They're essentially insecticides. But on the human brain, they just happen to do other things.
Yeah, Dandelion, that's true.
This is bottled water. There's no caffeine in this, unfortunately.
There was a bottled caffeinated water called Water Joe. It was caffeinated water. Look it up. It was a real thing. Water Joe. It was water with caffeine, with caffeine in it.
I might look it up later, but I've never heard of it.
It's a real. It was a real product. Briefly on the market, like Pepsi Clear was.
Oh yeah, definitely those delicious microplastics.
Which are now supposedly in vegetables. Vegetables.
Vegetables, fish, meat.
Wait, vegetables?
Yeah,
I'm safe. I'm safe. I don't eat vegetables anyway, so I'm safe.
Unfortunately, I do. I love me some veggies.
Yeah, there's supposed to be microplastics in men's sperm too.
No, not in sperm, in male testicles.
Testicles, sorry.
I think it was estimated if you pull out all the amount of plastics that is perforated or is accumulated in an adult human body at this point, it's about the size of a BB.
Still microplastics.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you accumulate all the microplastics into one thing, it's about the size of a BB.
And we eat the equivalent of a credit card every year.
That means we're shitting out most of a credit card every year.
Yeah, I know. We eat the equivalent of a credit card every year in plastics. I read a similar study.
So, all right, I'm definitely going to be ending the stream at 2 hours because lucky me, I have to work today.
Yay.
So I got to get as much done as possible. Hopefully I'll be able to play games tonight on Chris's thing. We'll see how much I can get done.
If you can make it.
So
and yet Dandelion, I'll send you the I'll text you when I get it today.
So other than Splinter Cell, Twisted Metal Season 2, and finishing up Dexter, what else should I watch or try to watch this week?
Catch up on Season 4 since it's been a couple of years of Stranger Things.
Well, if I do Stranger Things, I'm rewatching the whole series.
Oh.
So.
Well, remember, Season 4, they have hour and 20-minute episodes, hour 40-minute episodes, and the season finale is 2 hours and 22 minutes. That's many movies for Season 4, and Season 5 is supposed to be a little bit longer per episode. So they're gonna have many movies for season 5. I'm like, oh my gosh, I really want to binge watch this.
Well, I know if I rewatch Stranger Things, I have to do it with Vile style because she's the big Stranger Things fan in the Vile family.
Dandelion wants you to watch Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, and Martin Short, and Murders Only in the Building. Only Murders in the Building.
I watched the first episode of the latest season, but I don't think I've watched everything yet. But yeah, I am enjoying that series, Dandelion. So maybe next week you can come up and we'll talk about it.
No, I haven't even got a chance to watch that.
So far, I liked it. I liked the first episode of the latest season because they're trying to figure out who killed and why their doorman. And it basically turns out that the doorman has been into some shady stuff over the years.
Spoiler.
That's all I'm saying. He was into some shady stuff. I'm not saying what the shady stuff was or why.
Okay. I'm like, spoiler, come on, man.
I mean, someone
River's
killed
Long
him, so obviously he was into something, right?
Yeah, but River's Long Philosophy. Spoilers. I'm like James Gunn. Don't say shit, man. Come on. No spoilers. That's why 7 and 8, episode 7 and 8.
I always tell you no spoilers, and you give me spoilers.
I was going to say that's why he didn't give any press about 7 and 8 because he said he didn't want any spoilers or leaks about the episodes, and everybody was kind of pissed. Even New Rockstars was upset. Screen Crush was upset. It's like we got to wait till we watch episode like everybody else. And James' response was, "Yes, I love that." New Rockstars waited about 15 hours instead of instead of midnight releasing it. Screen Crush waited 24 hours because he had to watch and do his little shit. I'm like, yeah, now you know how we feel, dudes. Stop spoiling shit. That's why you haven't heard anything about the Green Lantern series. The only thing you hear is, yeah, it's shooting. This is who's in it. Have you seen any back screen productions like Marvel? No. You seen any spoiler plots like Marvel? No.
With Marvel, I avoid that stuff because I want to be surprised.
Yeah, everybody's spoiling Marvel shit.
So, all right. I don't know if Chris is going to come back in time, so I might as well just end the stream. Sorry, Chris. I was going to end it in a couple minutes, like 2 minutes away. So 2 minutes early is not that much. But I'll try to watch that next week, and we'll talk about it all. So on that note, later, folks.
Later, weirdos.